Hello, my people. Good day to you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for your attention, not taken for granted. I appreciate you for joining me on today's episode of Daily Mind Shift. Today we will talk about loving yourself, self-care, taking care of yourself. But I will spin it in another direction. All right. I will anchor today's episode on this particular statement. Love yourself enough to know when you are being mistreated. Love yourself enough to know when you are being mistreated. All right. This statement is just a reminder that self-love and self-respect are crucial in any healthy relationship. And when I talk about relationship, please don't think about romantic relationship all the time. All right. There are many, all of life is in relationships. So it's not about you and your boyfriend or you and your girlfriend. I'm not even into that type of stuff. I'm not that type of stuff person. So it's more about human relationship. All right. Whenever I talk about relationship, view it from the human perspective, not always in that little box of romantic relationship and all that. So it's this particular statement is a statement that is a reminder that self-love and self-respect are crucial in any relationship, in any healthy relationship. All right. All of us, every individual that you will ever meet, every individual that I've ever met, want to be loved and respected. But sometimes we can find ourselves in situations where we are being mistreated or we are being taken for granted. All right. We are being taken advantage of. It can be very difficult to recognize when this is happening. So I want you to listen closely to me. All right. It can be very difficult to recognize when this is happening. Many people, they are not being taken advantage of or mistreated. They are just being narcissistic. They are just being entitled. So they don't want to go through any discipline at all. I'm not talking to you if you're in that category. I just have to put that disclaimer out there. I'm not talking to lazy, narcissistic, entitled, spoiled brat or spoiled individuals. I'm not talking to you. But I'm talking to people that you are doing your practical best, all right? You are not telling yourself you are doing your best. You know you're doing your best, but you still find yourself being mistreated or taken advantage of. It can be very difficult to recognize when this is happening to you. Most of us have this Stockholm syndrome that you are addicted to the person that is mistreating you. You are addicted to the person that is taking advantage of you, especially when we've really invested in that particular relationship, when we are fully invested in the relationship or that situation. You like the person deeply, you respect your parents deeply, you really love your brothers and your sisters deeply. So you are emotionally, psychologically, sometimes philosophically invested in that particular relationship. It can be very difficult for you to recognize when you are being mistreated or taken advantage of. So what does it really mean? All right. What does it mean to love yourself enough to know when you are being mistreated? That means you have to value your own well-being and you have to value your own happiness enough for you to recognize and address those situations where you find yourself being mistreated, where you find yourself being treated unfairly, when you find yourself being treated disrespectfully, no matter who the person is, no matter what the situation is. You need to be able to identify that, this particular person is already taking advantage of my love for them. They're already taking advantage of my respect for them. They're already taking advantage of the fact that they are my boss, they are my subordinate, they are my supervisor, they are my line manager. They're already taking advantage of the fact that they are my parents. This guy is taking advantage of the fact that he's my brother. He's taking advantage of the fact that she is my sister, my partner, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend. You're taking advantage of that situation. You need to be able to value yourself enough. And it's not about the person, all right? I need you to hear me well. It's not about the person. Yes, they can be very foolish in that regard, but it's about you even knowing your worth in the first place. That's why most people don't recognize when they are being mistreated or abused, all right? You don't even know how valuable you are to yourself. You don't even value your own well-being enough. You don't value your own happiness enough to recognize and address those situations, all right? Let me give you some few signs that may be evident in your life so that you'll be able to identify them when you are experiencing some form of mistreatment. Number one, you feel constantly criticized, belittled, or put down by someone. You feel disdain when that person is with you. You feel as if that person doesn't regard you at all. You feel constantly being under scrutiny, under criticism. You feel belittled. You feel put down by someone. Listen, and I'm not talking to you if you are someone that cannot even take criticism at all. I'm not talking to you if you have self-esteem issue. No, it's not you I'm talking about. I'm talking about really, if you look at the situation very well, you really see there is evidence that you are constantly being criticized. And whatever you are being criticized for, you are making effort, all right? You're trying to be better, but the other person doesn't just say it. They are not saying it. I'm not talking about you. If you are lazy, you are not doing anything with your life, you ought to be criticized. You ought to feel belittled. You ought to feel that, yes, I can respect you as a human being, but I cannot respect you as an unproductive human being, all right? That's two. They are two different. I respect you as a human being. Everybody that is a human being deserves humanity's respect, all right? But I will not respect you if you are not putting the work to make your life better and you expect life to happen to you on this platter of gold. That's bullshit, all right? I don't do that. So you need to see those signs. If you feel constantly criticized, belittled, or put down by someone, then you are experiencing some form of mistreatment. If your needs and your feelings are consistently being ignored or dismissed by someone, I am not talking to you if you are the person that uses your feelings to try to manipulate people. I'm not talking about manipulation here. I'm talking about you have a valid feeling of being ignored. Your needs are being ignored or dismissed totally. Those times, you are being mistreated. No matter who that person is, it's important for you to identify the mistreatment before you can even address it. You feel manipulated or controlled by someone. You can smell it from afar that this person is manipulating you. This person is trying to control you, or is even controlling you. You are experiencing both physical and emotional abuse. Then you know that one is so evidently obvious that you are being mistreated. Let me also say this again. Please, I'm not talking to you if you are the one that thinks if someone scolds you now, they are emotionally abusing you. No. You are being scolded. You need to know the difference. This day and age where everybody is claiming emotional abuse, I'm not talking to you if you are like that. You are being scolded. You need to be scolded. That you need to be disciplined, all right? But there's a form of emotional abuse that you will experience, that you will know that this is borderline mistreatment, this is borderline physical and emotional abuse, all right? So if you are experiencing any of these signs, it is important to take action, all right? Seek help if necessary. Seek help. Remember that you deserve to be treated with respect, with love, with understanding. It's important that you know that for yourself. And it's not your fault if someone is mistreating you. It's not your fault. It's their fault. That's what I told you before. That see, it's not about them. It's about you. You need to know your worth. You need to be able to tell the difference when someone is treating you kindly, even though they are disciplining you, or when someone is really mistreating you and all that. So you need to know the difference between both. So let me give you some tips to help you love yourself enough to help you recognize and address any form of mistreatment. Number one is set boundaries. I've always said this thing. If anybody comes close to me, they know there are boundaries you don't cross. I don't tolerate some things. I can be very gracious, but there are boundaries you don't cross. No matter who do you think you are to me, there are boundaries you don't cross. So set boundaries. Define what is and what isn't acceptable behavior in your relationships. You need to know, Daddy, you don't talk to me like that. Yes, I'm your child, I'm your son, but you don't talk down on me like that. I won't take that, or else we won't talk again. Simple. I won't take that. Mom, I cannot take that. There is a way you respectfully disagree with your parent, with your elder brother, elder sister. There is a way, but you need to do it. All right. You need to set those boundaries and stand firm in enforcing those boundaries. Practice self-care, all right? Take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally. It can help you build your self-esteem. It can help you build resilience. And also seek support from people. Reach out to your friends, your family, any professional psychotherapists, clinical psychologists, if you are willing, if you are experiencing any form of mistreatment. You are not alone, and help is always available if you just seek them. All right. Love yourself enough to know when you are being mistreated. It's very important for your well-being, for your self-love, and for your self-respect. Thank you, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.